You're listening to 89.9 KGRG. I'm Everett Erickson, and this is The Mixed Review. This is the movie review segment where you get to hear from two perspectives from both sides on a film, that is, positive and negative. Today's movie for review is The Post, about the New York Times and Washington Post's publishing of the Pentagon Papers, a set of top-secret government documents detailing 5 presidencies lying about the Vietnam War to the American people. The movie, directed by Steven Spielberg, is up for a Best Picture Oscar and stars Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, who is up for an Oscar for Best Actress.
This is a devastating security breach.
That was leaked out of the Pentagon?
The most highly classified documents of the war.
The Times has 7,000 pages detailing how the White House has been lying about the Vietnam War for 30 years. The way they lied, those days have to be over.
Now it's time for The Good Review. Rarely can films bring together a terrific amalgamation of fantastic actors to pull off truly spectacular ensemble pieces. In The Post, every role is filled by an actor performing at the height of their prowess, and what can be exemplified in this is the willingness to include mistakes in the action. Several times in the film, characters tip over chairs, stumble over their speech, drop things on the ground, scrambling to pick them up. Where this might be seen as a mistake to some viewers, in truth it is as carefully executed as any other facet of the film. The mistakes humanize the characters and bring an extra layer of truth to the events being depicted on the screen. The movie consistently keeps a good pace all throughout, and in the hands of a lesser director or editor, there is no doubt in my mind that this could have been utterly boring. Instead, the film has a solid tempo to it, where scenes can fluctuate between relaxed, tension-filled, and emotional. The movie keeps the audience invested, and the story doesn't suffer the consequences. It arguably benefits from them. By using 2 bookends of well-known historical events that occur before and just after the film's story takes place, the viewer is given an introduction and conclusion to the story that perfectly sums up the piece while also giving the uninformed audience member curiosity to delve deeper into the background of what the film presents. And if the viewer is to do such a thing, they will be enlightened on the film's important historical significance, but also the analogy that can be made to today's political climate. That and the film has more than just one important theme, discussing the importance of a free press, the dangers of an overarching governmental entity, and women's further representation in business and politics. But if you don't care about all that stuff, they threw in a bunch of shots of old printing presses and typewriters. It's actually really cool. I give The Post 5 out of 5 stars. And now it's time for The Bad Review.
I think it's time we stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Established actors are established for a reason. They have demonstrated time and time again their prowess for acting, delving into a role, and giving it life no other performer could bestow to that part. Unfortunately, established actors are recognizable, and in a film like The Post, seeing Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Bradley Whitford, Sarah Paulson, Bruce Greenwood, and so many others, all I see is the actors, not the characters. How can anyone look at Zach Woods and not think of Gabe from The Office or Jared from Silicon Valley? Whenever I see David Cross, I want him to be covered in blue paint and say some crazy obvious double entendre. And when you put him next to Bob Odenkirk in a scene, my mind does nothing but wander. Steven Spielberg is established as well as a director, but here several of his directorial choices are uninspired. Intentional lens flares belong in Star Trek, not a drama about a newspaper company. That, and too many times characters will just go around the table and explain their connections to each other through dialogue while gazing at a photo. Film as a medium allows you to do flashbacks seamlessly, so why not utilize that instead of having everyone monologue for 15 minutes? So much of this movie is just really goofy, Like having someone play Richard Nixon but only show the back of his head. There are good impersonators out there. You don't have to rely on Kevin Spacey for everything. Plus, the film had a perfect opportunity for an astounding soundtrack of music from the era, but only used one song for less than 30 seconds in one scene. That and the almost total and complete disregard for the New York Times part in the story is just sloppy and boils down to a missed opportunity on all counts. Let's not forget which newspaper Nixon went after in the first place. I give the Post 0 stars.
I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
And there you have it. You heard 2 reviews of the film The Post, one from someone who liked it and one from someone who didn't. Now, if you want to see it or not, that's up to you. And hey, if you don't want to see this one but are looking for something like it, I might suggest All the President's Men, starring Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman, telling the story of the Washington Post's investigative reporting of the Watergate scandal. Anyways, that was the mixed review on 89.9 KGRG.